Today's episode is all about Jacarandas. In the last episode, we went scouting for locations to shoot flowers, and here we are near the Union buildings, but we found a nice location that has stunning flowers. Follow me. What we can see here is a beautifully lined street with jacaranda flowers. What I want to do, instead of just shooting the road, I'm going to take a shot of the road just so you can see what it looks like taking a straightforward shot. I'm going to find a couple of interesting angles, but let's first take a straightforward shot which the average person would take. Okay, I've changed my settings to 1/30th of a second and I'm shooting a wide angle shot, and I'm going to change my ISO to 100 and my aperture is 4.5. That'll give me enough depth of field here, and let's take a normal shot. There we are. So as you can see in that photograph, you've got some nice flowers, but it's quite a boring angle. Let's get closer. Let's see what we can find. The sun's about to come up, and hopefully that will give us some great color. It's still a little early. I'm not sure what the time is, probably about 5:30 in the morning. What I want to do, I love the flowers on the ground. I want to get those first. Try one or two angles over there. Come, let's get closer. How do we capture these flowers? Notice how the sun's just starting to kiss them, and now we want to capture that. Let's move in a bit closer. I want to find a nice leading line. That's why I'm walking backwards and forwards here. There we go. Oh. Okay, I've zoomed into 50 millimeters. I'm just not low enough. 50 millimeters at the 20th of a second, and aperture 5.6. And that's not an angle that you would normally see. Most people wouldn't want to lie on the ground, but then I'm crazy. Right, the light's changing very quickly, the sun's busy coming up. I've only got a couple of seconds to get this shot. It's already almost gone. I want to just take this quickly and then I'll tell you what's happening. I had to get this very quickly. The pink's almost gone. The flowers are changing from blue to pink, and then they're going to turn into more of a lavender color, I think. That's what's so amazing about these flowers, is how they change color depending on the quality of the light that's on them. So what I've done is I set my camera up so that my aperture settings and shutter speed, etc., is set for the flowers, not the sky. So the sky will be a little overexposed, but that's fine. I'm not shooting the sky, I'm shooting the flowers. Okay. Now, If we look down the road, literally 2 minutes ago, there were pink blotches in the trees. Now all the pink is gone as the light's changing. And we're going to stay here for a little while longer and capture these flowers in the different hues that they change into over time as the light changes. And what's making the light change so rapidly, if we look that way, are those clouds in front of the sun. So as the sun comes out and then it changes. And this is the dilemma of a photographer who shoots natural light outdoors, is that the light changes very quickly. You do not have time to think about, well, should I do this in 5 minutes time? Let me just quickly light my cigarette and have a cigarette. I'll take a shot just now. It'll be too late. You have to capture it as you see it. We are shooting jacarandas today, but we can't avoid the other beauty of other flowers in this vicinity. And what we have are bougainvilleas that have been dropping their blossoms. And I want to get a shot with a mix of jacarandas and bougainvillea blossoms here on the ground. So, as you can see, there's a whole line of these bougainvillea and jacaranda blossoms in the gutter here. And I'm going to take 2 shots, one against the light and one with the light. So here we go. Let's do that and see what we can find. And obviously we have to avoid oncoming traffic. We don't want any flat photographers. I found a spot that I think will be quite interesting. On the ground here there's a leaf that stands out in color from the rest of these flowers. So I'm going to take that and use that as a foreground subject. And I'm using a shadow depth of field, and I'm at 55 millimeters, and my aperture is 5.6, and my shutter speed I'm going to bring up. I'm coming up to 1/25 of a second, and this is going to be That's interesting because we got this contrasting color between these different flowers. One doesn't always have to shoot the macro view of everything. Sometimes the micro view is very interesting. I like that kind of thing. That was with the light. Now I'm going to just move over a few inches and shoot against the light. Here we go. Same flower, just a different angle. I haven't changed my settings. And I've placed our subject of interest at the bottom of the image, and because it's in focus, your eye goes there. And everything else becomes nice and soft and fades away into the distance, and you see the horizon. Right, if I turn round and I look up this road, the blossoms lying on the tarmac are very appealing to me, and I want to get a shot of that. So I'm going to walk up that way a bit and let's see what we can get. So I want to get a shot up this road, and look how the clouds are spoiling the effect. And what I wanted to get to, if the sun doesn't mess it up now, is I want to get a shot of those flowers without my shadow affecting. Okay. The sun will be out in a few seconds, but you'll notice as the sun comes out, my shadow is cast on the road because the sun is so low. And I want to get a shot without my shadow in it. obviously what I'm going to have to do is move into a position where there is a shadow anyway, and I'm in that shadow so you don't notice mine, or I must just change my angle of my shot that excludes my shadow. Okay, so what I want to do is, there's a tree on my left which is casting a shadow across the road. I'm going to walk into the shade of that tree and then take my shot from there, and even though my shadow is there, it's obscured by the shadow of the tree. Okay, let's go this way. You'll notice the shadows are coming and going, and I want to get these flowers that are on the ground here, and it's just exquisite. So when I take the shot, I'm going to present you with a version of the picture which includes the street signs, the speed bump signs, etc. And then I'm going to Photoshop the image and I'll take them out, which will make the scene just look far more pretty. The trees are not very attractive today, so I'm going to concentrate on the road itself, because that's really amazing. Now you'll notice, even though the sun's out, you can't see my shadow in this shot. I just want to have a quick look at these. Just want to have a quick look at the ivy here on my display. I want more of the ivy in this shot. It'll give a foreground interest. So I'm going to just change my position slightly. Only inches, I'll come down a little lower. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to focus on the ivy. Let me just preview that. That's good. And it's also interesting the effect that the shadows are creating on these blossoms. And you'll notice the different color of the blossoms that are in the shade as opposed to those in the sun. I'm very fortunate. A couple taking a stroll this morning along the road here, enjoying obviously the beauty of the surroundings. I just want to get a quick shot before they disappear. I'm using the converging lines of the street to get an image here, and then I'm going to take one from down here. I'm going to focus on them. Quickly, I've got to do it quickly. Here are a few photographs which I took last year during the blooming season of the jacarandas. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you've enjoyed the show. This is John Golden Photography. I'm John. Until next time.